Elemental is directed by Peter Sohn. It stars Leah Lewis, Mamadou Athie, Ronnie Del Carmen and Sheila Omi. And in Pixar's new movie, Ember, the daughter of a family made of fire, starts to fall in love with a guy called Wade who is made of water. In this world, elements can't mix or fall in love, and Ember starts to fall for Wade, and she's struggling to come to terms that she has to run her dad's shop someday, which she doesn't want to do. Now, it's really sad to see how this movie is performing at the box office. It's really all Disney's fault because over COVID they just slapped all of Pixar's films on Disney Plus, just acting them like trash. And it's just so disrespectful to the studio because I'm a big Pixar fan. I'll go and see these movies when they come out. I love the majority of them. There's only a handful which I really do not like. Looking at you, Cars 2. So it's a real shame what's happening, but I went to see Elemental anyway, despite how the box office is looking, and I was still very excited. The trailers weren't anything amazing to me. They sold it, but they kind of just made me feel, oh, it's a Pixar movie with a simple concept. That's all the trailers made me feel, to be honest. I didn't think it was going to be bad or anything, but still. And after coming out of the cinema, I was satisfied. I actually did not mind Elemental. I thought it was a very good, very solid movie, rom-com movie, with its little Pixar twist in there. Now, this movie is a rom-com, as I just said, and it fits in themes such as racial equality and racism, and it fits it into this romance story with people that are elements. It's an interesting concept. It's what Pixar are great at, and they do a great job with their themes in this film. To me, Ember is a really great character. She deals with anger issues due to the stress of running her father's shop, and she doesn't want to run it even though she wants to meet her father's expectations and not let him down. It's a great conflict to have with this character, so she's struggling easily, so you easily care about her and you want her to succeed. However, I will get into this flaw later, but this conflict was dumbed down a little bit thanks to the father's characterization, but again, I'll get to that later. The character of Wade, the water guy that Ember falls in love with, he doesn't live by this ideology that you should let people tell you what to do. He lives his own life how he wants to, and he wants to try and break Ember free from her dad's grasp. And it's what Ember wants. She wants to escape her father's expectations, doesn't really want to meet them, wants to live her own life. And so you instantly get why these two characters would fall in love. The romance was the strongest part of the narrative for me because it's symbolism for interracial relationships. And the movie basically says, whatever race you are, it's okay, as long as you love the other person. And I think that's a great message to send to the younger audience especially. And Wade and Ember's relationship is developed naturally. They go through different scenarios, have nice heart-to-heart conversations, spend time together. It's developed all throughout the film, so you instantly care about it when it gets to the climax and the third act introduction where everything goes downhill. You instantly like them together and you want them to be together. I'm just really happy that the writers didn't go for that love at first sight cliche these movies always seem to do. Because I'm really getting sick and tired of that cliche. They really need to stop. At first they kind of just don't like each other. Wade nearly takes away Ember's business. So you instantly get why they don't like each other. But, you know, he has a kind heart. You know, he still wants to help her despite what he has to do. So you instantly like him either way. And as I said, the romance is developed naturally. You care about it in the end. And the two voice actors, Leah Lewis and Mamadou Athie, they do a great job. They have so much chemistry together. They make the romance feel real. And it's weird because they're behind a microphone, which is great, that they can produce that chemistry on the screen, even though you don't see them. But of course, I can't talk about a Pixar film without mentioning the visuals. Pixar's animation is great. Everyone knows this. And of course, the animation is spotless. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the way they animated Element City, the different factions of it, the different ways the world works, how different elements get around the city, live their life. I think they animated those sections really well. They put a lot of effort into it. And I did like how they use gags and jokes to introduce different parts of the world and the lore, which I think was very creative. They do these sort of 1 second jokes, which weren't overly funny, but they introduced different parts of the world and how it works. And I think that was a really creative way to do some world building. But there was a few things that I didn't like about the animation. And this is one that I think a lot of people are complaining about. It's the way that the 5 people are designed. They're not bad, but they're distracting. And they feel very lower tier to what the environment looks like. I don't know, sometimes they just look under animated and hand drawn, and I could tell the animators did their best, and it took a bit of time for me to get used to the designs. I managed to accept them in the end, but they just looked a bit strange at first, and a lot of people are saying that as well. But the movie also has a few narrative issues. I did mention about how they characterise the father, and the reason is that the father is just straight up rude and racist. Like, he's really not that likeable at all. He's really selfish, just really annoying. He hates water people for no real reason. You could say, oh yeah, but water's harmful to fire, which I understand, but you could have given him a personal reason why he doesn't like water people. I don't know, maybe they ruined his home or something. Just something small like that, so we at least have an inkling of understanding why he hates them. And people also say, oh, but every element people discriminates 5 people. Well, in that case, Ember's father should hate all elements. You see what I mean? Like, it just doesn't really flow well. And his personality was so bad that he has an arc of accepting that Ember likes Wade. And it just feels so underwhelming because it's hardly had any proper build-up. Because he's just been so rude to Wade throughout the whole movie. So why does he just instantly care in an instant? There is also a few characters that just didn't need to be there. There's this small plant guy called Claude who has been heavily marketed by Pixar for this movie for some reason. He likes Ember, but Ember doesn't like him. And that is the entire point of his character. He's in it for 3 seeds. He tries to be funny, but he's not. He's just really annoying, to be honest. So why they added him in, I don't know. He was a pointless character. And the movie also has a few plot holes and world-breaking things that, if you think about it too much, it really doesn't make sense. For example, you're telling me that water and fire people haven't ran into each other and tried to touch each other. That sounded a bit wrong. That they tried to touch each other and they've never done it? You're telling me they've never tried to do it? Like, come on. Like, surely, like, they have ran into each other by accident before, find out that they could touch each other. Like, don't tell me they haven't. Come on. There's many little things like that where, if you do think about it too much, you kind of just keep developing questions. And so if you go see this movie, try not to think about the world lore too much, because you will be incredibly confused and continue to ask questions. And finally, something that I was really shocked about is that the movie just wasn't funny. I really did not laugh. They tried to do element puns. Wahoo. Yeah, element puns which are really bad, like, get off your ash. Get it? Because she's a fire person. Or when Wade says to Ember, oh, you're hot. Get it? Because she's a fire person. She's hot because she's flaming. She's beautiful to him. They were so bad, and you know they're bad when the kids aren't even laughing at them. The only time where I actually was laughing a bit was when they did a couple of those Family Guy cutaway gags. They were fine. They were quite funny. And there was a few grown-up jokes which were fine as well. They were good for my audience, at least. So overall, Elemental is not one of Pixar's best works. It's also not the worst either. It's a very solid, fun rom-com with its own Pixar little twist in there, which is fun for everyone pretty much. Its main romance is really strong. It's got some very likeable characters. The visuals all look great. But there is some unlikable characters in there, pointless characters as well. It's not really that funny. And there was a few plot holes and world-breaking lore which you kind of just not need to think about that much. So overall, if you want to see Elemental, I'd really highly suggest it. I think it's a really fun film for everyone. And I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Not the greatest Pixar film, but certainly not the worst as well. And guys, that is it for the end of this review. I hope you all enjoyed. Next one, should you choose to accept to watch it, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 with you, baby. Cannot wait, seeing it later. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have seen Elemental, let me know what you thought of it in the comments. Have a good day, and see you later.